All
right, so I got that. I'm gonna start posting everywhere.
Is it the same link you posted a bit earlier?
Yeah.
Episode. Okay.
Busted up Archangel here. And who the hell knows what else? Okay? Somebody's got to stay here just in case. And I'm coming with you. As I said, Asmodeus will be hunting me to the ends of the earth, so it's better if I'm not on this earth. It's not much better over there. You know, it's a war zone, right? Won't be my first, shan't be my last. Bye.
Really I'm sitting here trying to get the music going and get in the swing of the podcast, and I hear whatever's going on your side in the background, and I'm like, I got my brain going in two different directions. Hold on one sec.
That's okay.
Your mom can have glasses so dirty it's like looking through a mud-covered screen door and not bother her. And if I have a single spot smudge on mine, it drives me crazy.
I'm kind of the same way. Well, I'm a little bit in between.
Yeah, gotcha.
If it's bright enough that I can notice all the smudges,
yeah,
I'll take care of it.
Right.
But if it's dark enough that it doesn't matter, I'm like, whatever.
Trying to make sure we're live. Oh, I gotta get an update on this app.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Do you know why these massage roller things make your feet feel so good after you're done rolling on them? I can't remember why. Does it have something to do with like lactic acid or something?
I don't. Maybe if it's like releasing, loosening up knots or whatever. Could.
But then,
yeah, we're live.
How can just rolling over a couple of points do all that?
Dude, I used to have really bad knots up in here, and I would get a lacrosse ball up against the wall, and you could feel it. You could feel that ball popping over that knot, loosening it up.
Yeah, but how does that work? If it's just rolling over it. It's not actually digging or twisting anything in. Think
about when you're tenderizing a steak or something, right?
Okay.
You're pounding it and it's spreading it out and it's loosening it up and it's softer. It does the same thing. Muscles can get tight and tense and they can kind of knot up, and so you're basically kind of, tenderizing it.
Okay.
So
that makes more sense.
I just needed to make sure that sound was working fine on the stream side, and it is. Oh, what's up? Speaking of getting softer, Mitch, our buddy Mitch, he's in the chat.
I don't see him in chat.
It'll come up in a minute. There's a little bit of, I can see it on my side. Oh, I see why. It got blocked because he's like, speaking of getting softer, new gene pool, bitch. And he said, new gene pool, bitches. So and that's highlighted in red. So I'm sure that's why it's not showing up on the chat.
Oh my God.
Let's see if I can approve it. Let's see if I can. It doesn't give me a chance to approve it. So anyway.
1 second.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Allow it. There you go. I had to look at the auto mod. There it's coming in. So, well, yep, there it is. So, hey, buddy, how you doing? I heard that you kind of pulled a Sean on the Spire dungeon. Oh, no, you've been modded here before. It's just been so long since I've been here that I forgot how to do it, so. Seaned into the lightning is the new Leroy, right? And, of course, I can hear an echo through Connor's side. I can hear me through your headphones over there. Oh, let's see. There you go. I just got shunned by the lightning. That's the new phrase over in Destiny. You don't know the whole story, Connor. I'll have to tell you the whole story sometime.
All right. Anyway, hey Mitch, what's up? I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, but what do you think of my glorious beard?
You talking about me? You talking to me, or are you talking to Mitch?
Mitch,
Oh.
you've seen my beard.
Yeah, I have.
I'm
That's
not sure if Mitch
weird. Like,
has.
man, it's got a really bad Amish neck beard vibe to you, right? Because it does. Because the beard.
I'm trying to grow out this part, but it never comes in.
Because the beard really doesn't kick in till it hits your chin, to your jawline. It is. So all you need
it
is
works for me.
all you need is some suspenders and one of those flat brimmed hats, and you could cosplay as an Amish. He says he does like the beard though. Hey,
Good.
you know what? I mean, as a matter of fact, you know that we do have Amish around here, so that's one thing you could do. So anyway, all right. So you ready to get started? It's 8:03.
I've been ready.
All right, well, let me shut
I've
this
been
thing
ready.
up. Okay, all right, and yeah, I don't have to hit record because we're not recording. We're just streaming, and I'll pull the audio off later. So let's see if I can remember. I seem like I forget how to do this every single time. So anyway, all right, I'll wait till you're done chewing. I don't need the smacking to be the opening segment of the podcast. Thank you for complying. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 108 of the Gene Pool Variety Hour. I'm Sean, I'm the old guy of the bunch. I'm Dad in this little ragtag outfit, and the guy on the other side of the screen or in your other ear is...
You know who the sultry voice belongs to. This is your boy. This is your boy Connor, aka Quillmeister, aka the original nerd up in this piece.
I don't think that I've ever heard your voice described as sultry. I've heard other things, but not sultry.
You haven't heard me flirt.
You haven't. Well, and you haven't heard me do my relaxation training in therapy, and I have veterans go, dude, you put me to sleep. So anyway, but which is not supposed to happen. So just relax him, not put him to sleep. But anyway, so
that's the ultimate form of relaxation, isn't it?
No, you want to be relaxed, not fall asleep. If you fall asleep, then you're just falling asleep. You need to learn the skill to actually relax your body, relax your mind, teach you that skill. If you fall asleep, then you just fell asleep, and you didn't learn anything because you just crashed. So, what's up, Duckster? Hey, Declan. Hey, buddy. So anyway, so it's been a few weeks. We've been kind of off schedule because of weird things on Fridays. We did a stealth episode like a couple of Thursday nights ago and got us back on schedule. We didn't announce it to anybody. We just basically did one so we could get the podcast up, because otherwise it would have been, what, 5 weeks between episodes.
It,
So
it was a speakeasy episode. You had to be in the know to know about it, you know?
and the only people that knew were me and you until I posted it on the stream. I mean, on the podcast. Anyway, so we already got some friends hanging out with us, and we just kind of hang out and talk nerdy stuff. I'm kind of interested tonight because we started some new segments, and we were kind of doing different segments at random, and one of the 5 segments was what's in Connor's head, and that's what we're doing tonight. So I got no idea what the segment topic is tonight. It's just wherever his random head goes. And then we're going to talk about this kind of cool little movie called The Sheep Detectives. We had to veer.
Originally, we were going to watch The Wicked City.
We had to avert and go a different direction because we were going to watch we rolled for the movie last time, an anime movie called Wicked City or something like that. And Connor started watching it, and he said, well, 5 minutes in, we already see boobs and somebody's going, and I was like, nope, not doing that. Nope.
Someone's going down.
Yep. Hey, I think you're too loud, or your headphones are too. Hey, I think your headphones are too loud because I can hear it echo. So anyway,
now, Mitch, I agree. Wicked City is a classic. I will admit, I kind of watched both today.
It very well may be. I try to keep our podcast at a PG
we try to keep,
as much as I can. So
at most PG-13, if we can help it.
So I made
it's like literally in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Meet up at a bar. There's a bet about a dude going home with a chick. Like she's talking about the guy. Literally at the 3-minute mark, she's down on the ground talking about what a healthy looking guy. Maybe I can wake him up. And it's like, okay, I'm at work. What's going on? Next few minutes go by.
Yeah.
Full on pantomiming everything.
So
of course it then it then evolves into the woman turning into some kind of freaky mantis demon monster thing. So I mean, So
I decided to pull
Connor's too low now.
So I think I pulled a Ross, and we pivot, and we
pivot,
and we pick something else. So So Connor to say, hey, let's watch Sheep Detectives, and I'm like, all right, let's watch Sheep Detectives. So that's what we did.
It's got a great cast.
You know what? 20 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. And then by the time the movie's over, it's pretty good. So anyway, so we got that to talk about. And then whatever's in Connor's head. So anything been going on for you lately?
Let's see. Biggest thing that's happened is there is this giant staff change going on with the Columbus Head Start conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Literally almost every single teacher is going to new classrooms. Most of them are just going to straight up new centers, all across our offices and chains and centers. It's insane. And so originally my manager told me that that when she was told she was going to be going to a new center, she gave both my name and my co-teacher's name as people she would like to take with her. So I thought that was cool. I would get to go to I would get to still teach with my manager and my co-teacher, who I've really bonded with since I've worked there for the past 2 years. But they threw me a curveball, and I'm going to a brand new room that has never had a head start in at all. It's at a YMCA branch that's never had a head start room or program in it at all. So I'm helping pioneer that program in that YMCA, which is cool. I'm just not going to be working with the team that I've been working with for the past 2 years. So it feels like I have the same job, but it feels like I got a brand new job at the same time,
Right. It's you're doing the same job, but in a completely different location with completely different other staff. So yeah, and you're kind of starting it from the ground up. So I mean, at least least that gives you the opportunity to try to shape it the way you want it as much as you can, because you're
Even and actually I'm really excited about that because through my teaching at Cherry Creek, I realized that I thought of all kinds of scheduling things that I always felt like could be done a little bit better. So
mm-hmm.
like oh, for example, our routine at Cherry Creek was that as the kids came in at 9 o'clock, they would wash their hands, get their name tag on, and then brush their teeth right as they came in at 9 o'clock, which I always thought was weird because they just came from home, and I can't tell you how many times I heard kids say, "I already brushed my teeth at home." And we're like, well, you have to brush them here. It's part of our routine. And it's like, but then also in the morning we have to have time for them to practice writing in their journals, practice writing their name and the alphabet and everything. That's part of their morning routine.
Right.
But and then as you know, there are always some kids who come in right as they close the doors or a little bit after, and they miss the chance for both the teeth brushing and the journals.
Right.
So I always thought it would make more sense to put off teeth brushing until after lunch. Have that as a transition time. Has that as like a transition thing between rest time and everything else. So that then they're cleaning up after 2 meals they've already eaten there, and more kids are getting the chance to practice it.
You
Um,
know,
I wrote. Well,
no,
what's
go
up?
ahead, go ahead. No, good. I'll let you finish.
I brought this up to my new manager as we're talking about the schedules, and she said that makes a lot of sense. Let's try that out.
Okay.
So
So
it felt really nice to have my ideas heard.
sure, absolutely. That folks come expecting random nerd talk, and they get preschool childcare talk. So talk about a pivot, right? Anyway, so yeah, I mean it's gonna be a big curveball for you, but I mean it's what you love to do. So and you do a good job at it. So I'm sure you'll be fine. Me on the other hand, I got nothing going on. It's work. I see patients. I do what I do, right? So I am wearing tonight. I'm wearing my Blue Coats T-shirt in honor of it being DCI World Champ. Yeah, I see your Funkle shirt. In honor of it being DCI World Championship weekend. So the semifinals are going on right now, and the finals.
DC what?
DCI Drum and Bugle Corps. It's band nerd stuff, man. It's band nerd stuff. I had friends in Spirit of Atlanta when I was going, and I almost tried out myself. And then Blue Coats are our home state corps. They're out of Canton, Ohio. They were world champs 2 years ago. They were second place last year, and they're odds-on favorites to be world champs again tonight. So no, it's not Blue Coats. It's Blue Coats. Blue Coats. I'll type it in the chat.
The opposite of red coats.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, so that's going on right now as we speak, and so I'll watch the finals tomorrow night live, because I got me a 1 month subscription so I could see it, because I was going to go to Indy because it's in Indy. I was going to go to Indy and buy the ticket and go, but had some friends that were going to go and then they couldn't, so I wasn't going to go and pay for a hotel room and tickets just to go by myself. So maybe next year. So I'm watching it live on the big screen TV downstairs tomorrow. So just band nerding out. That's all. Poor Mitch, because I've been watching a lot of it in the last few weeks. So, folks are watching movies and all that kind of stuff. I'm watching marching band competitions on the big screen in my house. So I'm sure the neighbors that hear the marching band music out the wazoo, out the windows. But so anyway,
Some people find that relaxing.
Yeah, I mean that's true. And my headphone cord is all jacked up, and I can still hear it echo. So I still think your headphones are too loud, not your mic. Your headphones. I think your headphones are feeding back into your mic. So, sorry, just doing some production monkey stuff. So anyway, so that's what's going on with me. You got any? I mean, nothing nerd stuff going on. Man, I've lost myself into Starfield again. So I've almost 100%ed it. I've almost gotten all the achievements. I've got a few more to do. And then I'll probably start loading it up with mods and
I have almost 100%ed Black Flag already.
oh yeah.
Yep.
So all right, so tell me
Oh my
about Black
gosh.
Flag. Tell me. Sorry, Black
Well,
Flag.
jeez, that oh that
It
oh
was
ho, ho.
it rolled out of it was a Freudian slip. I'm sorry. Black Flag. Bleh, bleh. Sorry.
I can say that you can't. Ho ho.
So now I'm gonna get the community, slap on me because
Cancel Sean.
it's yeah. Hashtag there you go. Let's do that. There you go. We'll do that. So anyway, sorry about that. It was a
Black
slip of the.
Flag.
Thank you. As he coughs and then chokes on himself. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Black Flag Resynced is essentially the Ubisoft's redoing of what has been honestly called one of their best titles
Yeah.
in the Assassin's Creed franchise. Mitch, I'm trying to focus and you're making me laugh. Bro. Anyway. And they have done all kinds of amazing quality of life updates to this game. As well as making the play style similar to the new way they redid Assassin's Creed Shadows and Mirage. Before with Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, they made it into essentially like an actual RPG where you have levels, you get experience, you can buy gear of different rarities and put it on, you can make gear here, and then they just put that in the Assassin's Creed universe.
Got you.
But
Okay.
starting with Mirage, they kind of started going back to the classic play style of how the original Assassin's Creed games were. 1, 2, all of Ezio's stuff. 3,
Right.
Black Flag, and they started going back into it, and I gotta say, the way that Black Flag now plays, so much more fluid than the original. First off, they have they've had all kinds of side quest stuff that you can unlock. So like
Yeah.
in the original game, all you had was Adewale, your quartermaster. He was your ride or die, always there by your side. But in Resynced, they added 4 new officers that you could add to your ship.
Okay.
And with each officer you unlock, there's all these quests to get them and everything. Every officer you gain, your ship also gains new upgrades and new abilities. You get a shipwright, a gunner, a master at arms. Your quartermaster is still there, giving you an overall buff to everything.
Right.
And it's just the animation and the picture looks so much better. I mean, like all throughout TikTok, I'm seeing side by side comparisons of the picture, and I'm like, how did I think back in 2013 that this looked good compared to this?
Because you didn't live in 2026 yet. That's why.
Fair.
That's the best there was.
Fair.
It's like, at one point, PS1 games were the coolest looking things out there. Right?
That by chance.
Yes, I saw the
TikTok.
TikTok. I saw the TikTok of Ape Escape. Yes, I saw that. And
yes,
we used to think those were cool.
Very first game I played, man. Ape
on
Escape.
on PS1, right. So,
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so I put in literally because I looked at the stats. I put in 900 hours in Starfield when it came out. But then I stopped playing and dove back into Destiny with Mitch and Brandon right before the Shattered Space DLC came out, which was 2 years ago, September 2 years ago. So I hadn't played it in 2 years, and so I decided to pick it back up because I just like it. And they had some new stuff come out. They had some new DLC come out, some new updates, and so I dove back in, and so now I'm fully back in it, running it again. And but then I hit my crack last night. I made my first ship since I started playing again. And that was what I would literally sometimes spend hours just building a couple of ships just because I had the money and I could, and I like doing different designs and stuff. So I did that last night. So anyway, yeah. So I'll go back and I'll tweak it and play with it and recolor it and repaint it and everything tonight, and then play it some more. But anyway, so that's what I've been diving into. I was playing a little bit of Campaign Evolved. I got through first few missions of that. It looks good. It's the original Halo campaign, but just with current graphics and some
Quality of life.
Quality of life. That's what I was trying to think of. Quality of life improvement. So I really like it, but Starfield called me back, so I'll go back to it eventually. And apparently, Ubisoft. Speaking of Ubisoft, it's the 25th anniversary of Ghost Recon. And, we just had that. I just had my rant about Ghost Recon on the last episode, right?
I remember.
So, Ghost Recon had, Ghost Recon Alien Thunder, those original games that I really loved. And then they went to Call of Duty, trying to clone Call of Duty, and it just ruined what Ghost Recon was. And then they had Wildlands, which was really good. It was open map kind of thing, and it was really good. Well, I really liked that one. And then they came out with Breakpoint, which was terrible when it first came. Oh yes.
Was Wildlands the one with the weird narcotics boss who in Southern America?
Oh, it was a huge South American map, yes, but there was a lot of crime lord people, so it wasn't. I don't. I think there. I guess there was a main one. They were all.
There was this one main guy. He was always posing for stuff. He had big knuckles. I remember that.
I don't remember. I don't remember that level of detail, but it was South America type stuff. Anyway, it was really cool. Breakpoint was not great. It's better. I've played it some since they've made a lot of improvements, and I'll probably eventually finish that campaign at some point. But Wildlands was the pretty good one, and they've just Shadow released a bunch of content and DLC stuff for Wildlands. So I might have to download it again and check that stuff out. But anyway, so I've got plenty of things in the docket to play and just not enough time, not enough hours in the day to do it.
Same here.
So anyway. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. So all right, so
I've got so much on my docket to play too. They just did a giant update for Pal World, which I always loved ever since I first tried it a few years ago with their beta test release.
Yeah, I kind of thought that I was kind of surprised that game is still around, because I figured, I mean, from what I understand, it's pretty much a straight up ripoff of Pokemon or something.
That's
right?
been the running meme, that it's basically a ripoff of Pokemon. And now at this point, the makers of Pal World are mocking Pokemon by making stuff in direct competition with Pokemon.
Well, I thought that that Pokemon, I mean, I thought that company, I thought that they had sued them, so I figured that they were going to get shut down. But anyway,
they applied for suits, I believe, at least 4 different times.
Okay.
And
whatever.
each and every time Pal World won, because the differences are just enough to get pushed through. Because as much as Pokemon likes to try, they do not own a patent on human main characters using energized monster creations in small compact devices.
Yeah,
They do not own that patent.
I'm sure the Pal World people, before they even wrote one line of code, went to their lawyers. Oh my gosh, will y'all stop giving me these notifications? Please stop. How can I get notification? That stopped anyway, because it keeps beeping. I'm sure Pal World developers went to their lawyers before they started coding and said, okay, how close can we get to Pokemon without getting sued? Cool. That's what we're doing, because that's pretty much, from what I've seen, looks pretty much like a straight ripoff to me. But anyway.
And then Grounded 2 is about to get a giant update where we're going to get this amazing underwater biome we're going to have access to, and we're going to get a new buggy. I'm not sure if I've talked about those before with Grounded 2. We can ride bugs. we can harvest eggs,
Hence
grow our
buggy.
own bugs, and ride them. Right now, right now we have the red ant, the black ant, the ladybug, and the orb weaver spider. And we're about to unlock our fifth one, which is which is the toe biter nymph buggy, which is a water bug.
Okay. Okay. The toe biter nymph. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind
Fun
of a
fact.
that's
Do you
kind of
know?
a fetish, isn't it?
Um, a nymph. Fun fact: a nymph is actually the generalized term for for a juvenile insect.
I know, Connor. I know.
I didn't
I
know
just
you knew. I thought you hated bugs.
I-
How was I supposed to know?
that
You
doesn't
knew
mean that I don't
term?
know what they are. Anyway, okay, let's see what's in your
Oh,
head.
jeez.
Let's see what's
All
in
right,
your
yeah.
head.
What's in my head?
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
You got to start getting some new audios for these.
I know. I got to get
We,
something.
we,
So
we can't keep hearing Arnold Schwarzenegger just
And-
as to saying he wants to ask us a bunch of questions.
And for some reason, yeah, I need to get a new one something because for some reason that one has like an echo to it. None of the other ones do, but that one does. That I've noticed. Like it's trying to play twice or something. Anyway,
You've used it so much, the code is starting to degrade.
no, the code is breeding with itself. Inbreeders. So
That's an image I don't want to see. Inbred Arnold Schwarzenegger's. Oh gosh, nope. Get that out of my head. I'm gonna close
Okay.
my eyes for. I'm gonna close my eyes for 3 seconds, and I'm gonna forget. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
All right, you sheep.
Hey, Dad.
So
Dad, what are we talking
anyway,
about?
so what's in your head other than
Well, let's-
inbred Schwarzenegger, so I can put it back in your head.
You mother.
So what's in your head? What you got for me, man?
Let's see.
Where's the jokes?
As of right now, I have 2 things in my head. One is a question I asked you earlier. Would you rather be treated by Hawkeye Pierce or Dr. House?
Okay. All right. And what's the other one?
And then the other one is Everything Ocean, because that is going to be the theme of my new classroom.
Everything Ocean. Okay. All right.
Exactly. Everything
so,
Ocean.
So anyway, so to answer your question, we were kind of talking about it earlier, and we ended up on opposite sides. So I would probably pick House. I like Hawkeye better, but House is a diagnostician. Pierce is a surgeon. Yes, he's a physician, so he could still, but he couldn't do the amount of differential diagnosis that House can. And we generally, significantly, statistically higher rates go to a doctor for illness or disease than we do for surgery. So your need for House is much greater than for Hawkeye. Now, if I knew I was having to have surgery, I'd pick Hawkeye. Although he's basically meatball surgery, as you know. So anyway, that's where I landed. That's where I landed.
So for those of you who may not know, the Dr. House is a famous what?
Of course, folks, if they know nerd culture, they know any kind of media culture, they're going to know who House is. They know that TV show House.
They may not know Hawkeye though.
Some of your folks may not, right?
Yeah.
Because y'all were born 30 years after it was even on.
So for those of you who don't know, Hawkeye Pierce, also known as actually Benjamin Franklin Pierce, also known as Hawkeye, is a character from a show from the 70s and 80s called MASH. It was a show that that followed a MASH unit in the Korean War, the Korean conflict, and basically just showed what they had to go through during that time. MASH stood for Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
Okay. I have to tell you the depths of depression that I'm starting to go through over here on this side.
Why?
In that, as a Gen Xer, you are having to explain to people what MASH is. the show, everything. And I'm sitting there going, dude, I watched it every Tuesday night on CBS or whatever it was, right?
I know you did.
And the fact that
I'm pretty sure people my generation didn't.
Exactly, the fact that we are so far removed from one of the best shows in the history of TV that people don't even know what it is and have never even heard of it and have to have it explained to them is depressing for me. It means I'm one step closer to death. That's all. So anyway,
don't worry, Dad. I'll be teaching my kids about this show. Smash will live on.
I know.
Anyway, so I said I said I would rather be treated by Hawkeye just because of what we see between the two characters. You're right. House is a genius and a brilliant diagnostician. I just he just he just seems like, I don't know. I don't like the guy. He's too blunt and he's too mean. Meanwhile, I can go to someone who has just as much skill, actually more because he's also a surgeon, but he's also an engineer and a brilliant diagnostician because he had to deal with things on the fly, create treatments on the fly, create apparatuses and tools to treat illnesses and things that the house had never even thought of or conceived. You know, so
well,
it's just
I don't
the
think
way
Hawkeye ever would have picked up on the fact that girl was having that we were talking about earlier, that one episode. Anyway,
knowing Hawkeye, he probably would have. Think about it.
He probably maybe. Anyway,
if you're gonna keep bringing that one up,
because it's the only one I can remember. I didn't watch. We watched the first couple of seasons of House, and then we stopped watching. So, no, there was something else I was going to say about all that, but anyway. So go ahead. Continue. Why Hawkeye?
I just feel like if we took Benjamin Franklin Pierce, and put that essence, that character, and that person into a modern setting, I feel like he would essentially become more successful and more skilled than House would, because
as a surgeon, but because they're doing different jobs, so they're going to be specialized, right? There's no way that Hawkeye is ever going to be as specialized a diagnostician as House is, because that's what House does. Just like House is not going to be a surgeon like Hawkeye is. It's just because this specialization. The higher you go up, the more specialization there is, right? And the other thing I wanted to mention,
just because you're a surgeon doesn't mean you can't have enough medical knowledge to help out the MDs.
No, I get that, right? I'm not saying you don't have medical knowledge. I'm saying you don't have the precise and detailed and niche medical knowledge, as House does. That's all I'm saying. Yes, he's going to be smart.
Well,
he's going to be.
Well, that's the thing. House isn't a specialist. He's just a general practitioner, a general diagnostician. He's not specialized in any one field of medical study, is he?
Right, but what I'm saying is that he is an You can be a general practitioner. You can be an internist or whatever, but kind of specialize within that field in unusual diagnoses and stuff. I mean, you can do that kind of stuff, right? So, but the other thing, you mentioned something when we were offline when we were talking about this. You mentioned, Hawkeye's bedside manner, right?
I mean, yeah. Look between the two.
No, I get that, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because, your mom, who worked in heart surgery for years, at least on the surgical side, generally speaking, she said, there was an inverse relationship between quality of surgeon and bedside manner. The better the surgeon, the worse the bedside manner. The better the bedside manner, the worse the surgeon. So it's like, she was like, I want an asshole to be my surgeon. I want, because I know he's going to be good in the operating room. He doesn't have time for all that being good bedside manner. He's too busy being good in the operating room. So,
but that's the thing. We would be talking about Hawkeye, who is the inverse of that inverse that Mom mentioned. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, whatever. That's fine. So we both have.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Mitch. We do not need more shows about a-hole doctors.
No, right.
There's
Right,
scrubs
absolutely.
for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perry
So
Cox.
anyway, so okay, so there's that question.
Did you know they
so
rebooted that show?
I do on Hulu. I haven't watched it because I didn't really watch the first one.
I just
I know y'all did a lot, but I just never got into it. So, but
I'm just worried as to what they were going to do with the show because they had this whole weird half season of like scrub of like Sacred Heart being turned into like a college and a hospital all in one. So it's like, what
kind of like UAB.
Are they going to connect the two? And as it turns out, they completely forewent and just ignored everything that happened in that season.
Okay,
And
because that
it's
was all a
just,
dream. That last
why?
season was a dream. It's like the Bob Newhart show. Last season was a dream. So anyway, okay. So what's this other thing
So,
that
like,
you were talking
Lost?
about? What's this other? No. So I don't know if, and I watched enough of these shows to know about the two shows, but Bob Newhart had two sitcoms. One in like the 70s or 80s, early 80s or something, where he was I think he was a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and was married, and so it was a whole sitcom about that. And then he had the second sitcom later on, where he was like owned like a little bed and breakfast in this little Maine town or something with all these interesting characters. And I didn't see it, but I've seen enough clips. The final episode of the new Bob Newhart show, the final episode, the last scene, the room is dark, and he flips on the light, and he's in his bed. But he's in his bed from the original episode, the original series, and he wakes up, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I had this weirdest dream." And his wife turns the lamp on, and it's his wife from the original series. That she said, "What's going on?" He's like, "I just had the weirdest dream that I managed some kind of, and had these brothers that had the same name and this kind of stuff." It was kind of fun. It was probably one of the best like final episodes of a series because it was such a weird twist. So,
Nice.
so anyway, all right. So what's this other ocean thing that you're talking about?
So me and my new lead teacher / center manager. That's right, she does both jobs. She and I decided that we're going to go with an ocean theme for our classroom. So I've been going through my head thinking of all the cool ocean themed things I can make and build and put into the classroom. Put on my own personal spin on everything.
Right.
And I'm just really excited to share a lot of my ocean knowledge. I may just for fun see if I can hang something from the ceiling, make like a little fake space station, and then then like put a piece of tape on the floor called called Point Nemo.
Yeah.
Looking directly up at the space station.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of Point Nemo, right?
No. What's Point Nemo?
So Point Nemo is a position in the ocean. Its coordinates are, if you're floating on top of the surface of Point Nemo,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking up at the sky,
Mm-hmm.
and the International Space Station floats over you in its orbit,
Yeah.
you would be closer to the International Space Station than you would be to the bottom of the ocean at that point.
That's cool.
Just imagine the depth, imagine the actual difference in that.
No, I'm not going to, because I'm just not going to do that, because I saw Jaws in the theater when I was 7 years old. So no, I'm not going to imagine that. If I'm going to be imagining being at that point in the ocean, I'm going to be on a really, really, really big boat. Not going to be in the water. So thank you. So you have your inbred Arnold. Now I have the deep ocean thing in my head. So thanks for that. You got me back.
It's just think about how cool that is.
Yes,
that there's some place in our world where we are literally closer to the vastness of space and learning of our solar system than we are to learning what the depths of our own world that we live on.
Yeah, I know. Look, it's cool. I mean, they're saying that one of the vast unexplored areas that we have not explored as humanity is the bottom of the ocean. We know more about the moon.
Exactly.
We know more about the moon than we do the deep, dark bottom of the ocean. So yeah,
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting. I'm really excited to see what happens with you and this new place and being able to kind of come up with ideas from the ground up. Not kind of coming in with somebody else's ideas, but kind of developing yourself. So that's gonna be kind of cool. So excellent. All right, let's talk about some sheep. How about we talk about some sheep?
Yep.
So it's time for the next segment of
Roll for credits.
a little delay there. Anyway,
Sorry, I was fighting back a yawn.
So look, we decided when we pivoted,
Orf.
okay, whatever.
Gotta do it. Go on, I gotta do it.
I'm not gonna. You do the orf. You do the orf. I want to see behind the scenes footage of the actors doing the voice acting in the studio, and I want to see Sir Patrick Stewart with his tongue going, sticking his tongue out and doing that, because I guarantee you he was. But anyway, speaking of, he's. I think it's getting time for old Sir Patrick to kind of just retire from acting. He's really slowing down. You can tell. So anyway, so it's 2026 movie just came out. It's Amazon exclusive, and the premise of the story. I'm going to use
the title is called Sheep Detectives.
The Sheep Detectives, and it says when the beloved farmer is found dead under mysterious circumstances, a flock of sheep conclude that they have to solve the murder themselves, even if it means leaving their meadow for the first time and facing the fact that the human world is not as simple as it appears to in books. So, the whole premise of the movie is Hugh Jackman is a shepherd, and he's got these sheep, and he loves his sheep. He takes good care of them. He names all of them. He reads to them every night, from the stoop of his...
Specifically murder mystery books.
He reads to them all kind of murder mysteries, and they all lay down in front of him, and when, and it was kind of funny that when they show at the beginning of the movie, and he's sitting there reading the book, and he says, okay, well, I'll finish this next time. I'll finish this tomorrow night. And all the sheep start bleeding. Like, dude, finish the book, except they're just bleeding. And then as soon as he goes inside, somebody says, I can't believe you stopped there. And then they're all talking. So it's one of those, it's kind of like Babe and those kind of movies where the animals speak.
They've got some great quality voice actors in this movie.
They really did. I was really kind of surprised. So Hugh Jackman's the farmer. He's the shepherd.
They've got one of your favorite guys in it.
They got Sir Patrick Stewart. They've got Bryan Cranston. They got Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and they got Chris O'Dowd, who's one of I love Chris O'Dowd. The Feast.
Ever since you saw It Crowd.
Well, yeah, that and he plays. If you guys like the mockumentary movies, the Christopher Guest mockumentary movies,
yep.
Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman, A Mighty Wind, those kind of movies. He has one, and it's not one of his best ones, but they have one on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive, Netflix original called Mascots, and it's about a world championship competition of college sports mascots, or just sports mascots. And Chris O'Dowd plays a character in there where he has like a giant fist, and he's just on skates because he's at hockey games, and he says, I'm defeated, and I just hear that in my head every time I hear his voice. And then so and Emma Thompson is in it. She's got a smaller role towards the end. She plays the lawyer, but the
first time I saw it, I felt the same thing.
You have to understand the comedy where it's coming from. That it's supposed to be, it's filmed like it's supposed to be serious, but it's so bad and so stupid that it's look. I mean, Christopher Guest, the very first one he did was This Is Spinal Tap. That's how the mockumentary thing got started, was with This Is Spinal Tap, and it's just the same style. And the thing that I just find so cool, he uses pretty much the same actors in all of his movies because they're so
little variations.
A little variation here and there, but they're so good at ad-libbing that he generally will say, okay, this is what we need to get across in this scene. Action. and they just go and kind of ad-lib it, right? So, well, I mean, Waiting for Guffman is really good. Mighty Wind is really good. And Mascots it's cute, right? But I kind of like
this movie.
Yeah, Best in Show and Mighty Wind are probably my two favorites. But they're anyway. Your mom and I really like them. So, so Hugh Jackman dies. The sheep get up one morning and he's laying dead out on the ground in front.
Should we tell them the names of like the main sheep that are there?
Sure, go ahead.
So there's Lily, played by
That's Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Mopple,
that's Chris O'Dowd,
played by O'Dowd. Sebastian, who is played by Bryan Cranston. The Everwise Sir Richfield, played by Patrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of other smaller characters.
Well, there's Sebastian. And that was Bryan Cranston.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a couple of other smaller characters that that have like just like smaller parts. Wool Eyes, Zora, Cloud.
Yeah.
But
I looked up their names. I didn't recognize the name, so.
Yeah. Ronnie and Reggie, the Bashing Rams.
Yeah.
They had a couple of fun parts.
Yeah.
Lily is described as the smartest sheep, Mopple the wisest. Sebastian is described as being the loner watchman of the herd. And Sir Richfield has Orf. Flock, yeah.
Flock.
He has Orf. Oh, which is just like foul-smelling disease sheep get in their mouth. And trust me, the reason why we keep saying it is because it comes up later in the movie.
Yeah. So anyway, now ultimately this is a murder mystery, right? And it turns out it's a very sweet story, but it's a murder mystery. So we're not going to spoil it. So we're not going to talk about a lot of details of the movie. I want to make sure we don't do that because it's a brand new movie and it is a pretty good movie. It's much better than I thought it was going to be. You're freezing up really bad on my end. You're just sitting there completely frozen. So I don't know if you're still there or not. But I want to keep talking. Yep, there you go. So Connor disappeared.
I'm here.
And there you go. You're back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but you completely froze.
Yep. I think the storms are just messing with my stuff.
Okay. So anyway, he dies. They discover his body. And then they realize that, hey, he didn't just die of natural causes. He was poisoned. And the cop in town is kind of dumb.
Who's an absolute idiot.
And the reality is that, many of you may know, right? Well, we watched a movie several episodes ago called Cat Person talk about awkward dating. He was the male character in that. But if you've ever seen Sky High, the movie Sky High about a high school for superhero kids, right? He was, and I don't remember his character's name, but he was the tall, blonde-headed guy that could glow. That was him. And so we keep seeing him. And I think we did Sky High for an episode. So he is actually, I love Sky High. And I can't remember if we did Sky High for one of the earlier episodes, but if we have, that guy may have the record for the most movies on our podcast. Maybe the only 3 movies he's done, but we've kind of talked about all of them. Anyway, so clearly the townspeople are not the smartest and on top of things. And so Lily takes it upon herself to solve his murder herself.
I mean, it's just a small town. I can't remember if it's in the UK or Ireland.
It's somewhere over there. I mean, it's
a small United Kingdom town.
Yeah.
I believe United Kingdom is the generalized term for that conglomerate of countries.
Yep. Yeah. So then it's a matter of them finding ways to convey information to the humans to help them solve the murder. You know, like one of the suspects lost a piece of jewelry in the meadow, and the sheep found it. But the cop is kind of an idiot, so they have to go to town. Mop,
Thing that never ends.
the thing that never ends. Mopple and Lily have to go into town, steal the cop's hat, and run off. And he chases them all the way back to the meadow, and finds the bracelet. And then they draw maps with paint. So they kind of solve the crime.
They then also literally have to help him so much. They break into the into Hugh Jackman's trailer. They get the book that he was just reading that talks all about means, mode of opportunity, and all that. They bring it to his office and like bash on the door, drop the book, and run away.
Right.
And then all of a sudden there's this great montage of investigation because this dude read the book.
Right. So they're literally helping. They're literally helping him solve the crime. And there's
I would 100% expect.
Go ahead.
I would 100% expect. At some point after this movie, the officer came by and pinned deputy badges to some of their wolves.
Right. And fair enough, Mitch. Mitch is saying he's very adorable and he's never had to deal with any of this at all, right? I get that. Okay, so I'm harsh and
That's very fair.
I'm harsh and I'm hard-edged and I'm just like a mean guy. All right. Got it. Copy that. But anyway, he gets better, with kind of figuring things out because as Mitch was saying, he hasn't done anything like this before, but he gets pretty good at figuring things out. And he actually solves the murder at the end. I mean, yes, he has the help of the sheep, but he solves the murder at the end. And you just start to really appreciate the relationship that Hugh Jackman, even though Hugh Jackman wasn't in the movie for very long, he was gone in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, first 20 minutes of the movie, I guess. But they had they had a couple of cutback scenes with him and the sheep, and then just the way the sheep talked about him and the things that he did, you started to see just that compassionate relationship that he had, with animals and with his sheep, and how he saved Sebastian. There's a story there where he saved Sebastian from a carnival, and so you just started to see this cool connection, right? And that's when it started getting kind of touching. And so there's a lot of cool touching moments in there. Some pretty funny ones too, but one of the things
a lot of funny ones.
Well, and I think what I liked was the Winter Lamb backstory, right? The subplot with the Winter Lamb, because they talked to.
Go ahead. Just to lay out a little bit of fun biology for you guys, we have never understood why, as long as we've domesticated sheep, but it's a common theme. If a lamb is ever born during the winter season, the flock will actually ignore it and actively reject it, even its own mother. No one understands why. And this is only rectified if the lamb is put in a different flock. If any of the original flock see this lamb, or even if they see it as a fully grown sheep, they will actively ignore it and reject it. No one is able to understand why at all.
Right.
But it is a common theme throughout this movie because there happens to be a winter lamb in this flock.
Right. This little baby lamb, really cute, and Hugh Jackman's character George, right? George fed it and talked to it and loved on it because the sheep ignored it, and so it was just kind of by itself. There's one scene where all the sheep are in the barn and it's raining outside, and this little winter lamb is just kind of huddled under a tire to try to get out of the rain. Um, but you also find out later on in the movie that Sebastian, who's kind of the loner, who always kind of keeps to himself and back off,
Mm-hmm.
he was a winter lamb, and he had
Mm-hmm.
been rejected so much by his flock, he finally left and then got
And just
basically
he believed that he needed to be rejected. He
he
believed it.
yeah, he believed he had no value because he'd been told it for so long, and so he left the flock, and then a carnival picked him up. And they kept him, and he says it was great for a while. He was like in a petting
A
zoo,
little petting zoo.
and that was fine. He says then he got too big and too old, and so he wasn't good for that anymore. So then they started putting him all the carnival, the carnies, at
Yeah, the
night
carnies.
would put him in a ring with a dog, kind of like pit bull fights, and he had to fight dogs to the death, and so he had scars all on him and this kind of thing. So it turns out he was a winter lamb. You had this other little winter lamb in there, so you had these two rejects on either end, and like my little sign says, basically they save the day because Sebastian ends up saving Mopple and Lily from getting attacked by some dogs, and then the little winter lamb basically is able to get in and because he's small, he can get into the jail through the little window to kind of
But the biggest
leave
thing he did is that he didn't forget.
right.
So
Right.
so
That's
another
another thing. Yeah.
another big thing in this movie, which which actually is another phenomenon with sheep.
Yeah.
It is said that a sheep has the ability to fully forget something if they choose to, for like 3 seconds. So like the entire flock, if they hear something disconcerting or that makes them feel bad, they will literally say, okay, let's get ready to forget. We're gonna close our eyes, and they all count 1, 2, 3, and then there's this snap, this like little bell chime. Then literally you can see it in their faces. They just plumb done forget about
Mm,
everything,
yeah.
except Mopple.
Mount.
Mopple is the only one who does not forget because they say he was born without the ability to forget, so he remembers everything.
Mm-hmm.
The entire flock continues living in this euphoric, fun meadow of existence, whereas Mopple remembers everything. He remembers every time a sheep died. He remembers every time someone someone had to get taken away. He remembers every bad thing, whereas everybody else, they just go boop de boop de boo. I'm gonna
They
eat
force
my
themselves to forget
grass.
that. Yeah, so they never learn. They never grow or learn. They just,
Exactly.
yeah. So, he carried the weight of the flock, because he carried
He
the history
really
of the
did.
flock. See, so, um,
And so and so going back to the Winter Lamb, um eventually Lily and Mopple are telling the flock all the things they've learned. The flock is like, we don't want to hear this. This makes us feel sad. We want to forget. And then Lily is like begging them to not forget, but they ignore her and then
mm-hmm.
they go through their routine.
Yeah,
Um
yeah,
and so they forget. They go back to the meadow, go back to the barn, and just wait for things to pass on. And Lily and Mopple are like, "What are we gonna do? We have to tell them this thing that we discovered. But in order to do that, we need to get in here, but we're too big."
yeah.
Winter Lamb comes up and says, "I can fit, and I did not forget."
Yep, yep. So, the two winter lambs that were historically the rejects of their flocks are the ones that basically kind of say the day. Now, of course, Lily did all the detective work, but if it wasn't for those two, one, Lily probably would have been killed, and
Yeah,
two, they couldn't have gotten into the jail to leave the evidence that they needed to help solve the crime.
exactly.
So yeah, look, it ended up being a
Oh,
really cute. Yeah,
we completely missed something. So the
I
reason
miss a lot.
why so the reason why we keep on bringing up Orf is because Orf is the reason in why a lot of this stuff happened. George
The motive. There
Hardy,
you go. There you go.
yeah, the motive.
Mm-hmm.
If so so George Hardy, he raised his sheep for wool. So he had to make sure they were healthy for long periods of time so that he could harvest their wool, or was something that made it really hard to keep them healthy because all that growth and bacteria in their mouths making them
Right.
sick.
Right.
So
Right.
he developed a medicine that he then sold to a major agriculture firm for 30 million American dollars.
Right.
And that and in his will he was going to leave that to one of the people read in the will. And that and that became the motive to get rid of him.
Or the
$30
presumed
million.
the presumed motive, right?
Yes, the presumed motive.
So anyway, so it was a neat little murder mystery. It was kind of like
Had a very nice little twist
it's kind of like if
as to who did it, you know?
yeah, it's kind of like if you take an Agatha Christie murder mystery and you mash it up with Babe. That's what this movie was, kind of, right? It was
except the only animals that talked were the sheep. We didn't hear the chicken that crossed the road. We didn't hear it talk.
right. Well, that was the only other animal in the movie. You know, the other guys,
the dogs.
well, we didn't hear the dogs. Yeah, we just heard them bark. But the other sheep, but they spoke in French.
They spoke French.
They
Yes,
spoke
exactly.
French. So anyway, so it was a much cuter movie than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be okay, whatever. And it started out kind of that was definitely the vibe that I had. Like, okay, this is going to be a really, really cheesy movie. But then the heart and the storyline started to develop, and you started to kind of understand some of the characters differently, right? And so, yeah, it was cute. Like I was telling Connor earlier today when I first started watching, I'm like, hey, I would have watched this with you guys when you were little. This is not something I'd watch now. I'm not sad that I watched it, and it's not a movie that I'll probably watch again. It's not a movie where
Honestly,
I want
I would rewatch it, and
it's
I'm
not
not saying something coming from me.
It's not a movie that I would say, hey, Kelly, let's watch this movie together. Like some of the movies that we've seen, I've tried to gotten her to watch some, but
you don't think mom would enjoy this one?
I think she would think it was cute, but it's not going to be. The movie has to be super good, or it has to be a serial killer documentary for her to be willing to watch it. I swear, man, sometimes I get kind of nervous.
I mean, there is a killer in the movie. There's a killer in the movie.
Yeah, I get that, but dude, I mean, seriously, sometimes I come home and I start kind of going, okay, I think I need to start sleeping with one eye open because all she ever watches are serial killer documentaries. I'm like, okay. Or how did this one get away with this? Or how did this one get away with this? I'm like, okay. If I disappear, y'all, she would. That's kind of a joke that I have with her, but anyway.
But yeah,
so
weirdly enough, it's like it's like a common trope nowadays with aging housewife types that they're getting into this true crime stuff, and it's like,
I know
why.
I don't know.
I mean, like at first it was it was me and mom bonding over Criminal Minds.
Well, right.
And then if I remember, she then pivoted to like binge watching large parts of SVU, right?
I think so, but you know, if she has her choice, she's not a big screen watcher anyway. But if she has her choice, she wants to watch something that's true, right? Or at least a movie that's based on a real story, right? She's not so much into just watching a movie because it's fun to watch, fake or, fiction or whatever. There are a few that she'll enjoy, but by and large, it has to have some kind of historical reality basis to it. What? What are you singing? What is it?
Do you remember the movie WALL-E?
Yeah. But I don't remember that song.
The big franchise that kind of ruined the planet was called By and Large.
Okay. Gotcha. There is a oh man. Maybe it was an Electric Dreams episode or one of those
Black Mirror?
Black Mirror, one of those kind of shows where it's like a compilation. Each episode is its own story, right? These weird kind of science fiction. And one of them was like a dystopian future where this company, which clearly they're kind of implying Amazon, right? This company took over the world basically, and everything was run by drones, and they knew your algorithm so well, they would automatically deliver packages to you that you didn't even order because it knew that you needed it. And it was kind of like the humans fighting this corporation kind of thing. And it's like, okay, we're kind of not too far off from that, you know. And the whole Wall-E thing, where the planet covered in garbage from all the products that we buy, and folks sitting in floating chairs by them, you know, right next to each other, talking to each other on the screen, even though they're sitting right next to each other. Heck, we have that going on now with our smartphones. Yeah. So,
you should check out
sad state of affairs. I have watched some of those, and some of them were a little too far out for me, and so I'm like, the animation, that kind of stuff was pretty fantastic. I was fascinated by that. Some of the storylines I wasn't so jazzed about, so I didn't watch it. So, but anyway, I need to go back and watch the Secret Level. Those shows. Have you seen those?
The title sounds, the name sounds familiar.
I think it's Secret Level. I think it's what it's called. It's like an anthology series too, and they're animated. But each episode is based off a specific video game franchise. And supposedly one of the best episodes is based on Pac-Man.
Huh.
But I think in the Pac-Man episode, he's like this dark, sinister killer or something like that.
What?
It's like a weird twist on things, right? So yeah. So there. I need to go back and watch. I watched some of those and they were kind of interesting. So I need to go back and watch some more of those. But anyway. Okay, so hey, how about we roll for a movie and roll for the next segment, and
let's do it.
All right, so let me get my dice out. So okay, so we're gonna roll for a movie. So let's see what we got.
We are being joined by Whitey LaForge.
Okay, we're pushing all kinds of limits tonight. So anyway,
this bit's not new, Dad.
No, but that was it. But anyway. I pushed a limit by accident. I didn't mean to. I feel bad. But anyway, okay. So I rolled a 6. Yes.
Mitch rolled our movie. Mitch rolled our movie, Dad.
Yeah, I don't think so. That sounds like almost what the movie we almost watched was going to be. Anyway, so I rolled a 6, so we're going to be on Amazon Prime again. And I rolled
We've been on a Prime kick lately.
I know. I rolled a 5, so it'll be a mystery thriller this time.
Okay.
And then, dude, I literally rolled 100. I rolled a 0 and a double 0. So I'm going to go and find the 100th movie on the Amazon Mystery and Thrillers list and come right back and tell you what it is and what we're going to watch. See, that one's echoing too. I gotta figure out what's going on with that. Anyway. Okay, so...
Oh, I want to watch that, Mitch. I want to watch that.
So where... yeah, that looks interesting. Bigfoot fighting Wendigos. We're not going to watch the 100th movie because the 100th movie is a movie we've already seen that we've done an episode on called Payback with Mel Gibson. And we did that one just, I don't know, within the last 10 episodes, I think.
What movie was it called?
It's called Payback. We've done it. Yep.
I have no memory of it, Dad.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a memory of half of the ones we've seen either. So I'm going to move right over to the next one.
I used my sheep brain to forget it.
There you go. So, and the movie right next to it is called The Last Day on Mars, or The Last Days on Mars. And the premise is a group of astronaut explorers succumb one by one to a mysterious and terrifying force while collecting specimens on Mars. It stars Liev Schreiber. You've seen him and stuff. I can't remember. I think he played. Did he play Beast in one of the X-Men movies? He may have. I can't remember. I thought he
I
did.
know.
Or
I
no,
know.
no, no.
I know. In the original X-Men movies, it was
No.
it was Kelsey Grammer.
Yes, it was it Sabretooth that he played, Mitch? Because there was some guy that played Sabretooth, but I didn't think it was Schreiber, but I thought he did in one of the movies.
To my knowledge, the few times that Sabretooth has been mentioned in the Marvel movies repertoire, it's been the same guy.
Yeah, I know. So
Even
I'm gonna.
even in the recent Deadpool movie, it was the same guy.
All right. Hey Siri, has Liev Schreiber ever played in a superhero movie? He played the mutant supervillain Victor Creed in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. And he also played
Never. I don't remember seeing that movie, or if I did, I don't remember details
Yeah.
from it.
So-
Except giant robot samurai. That's the only
yes,
thing I
the
remember from
one
it.
with the awful Deadpool with the scars and katanas. Yes, that one. Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember seeing it, but I don't remember much about it because it wasn't that good. So okay, so that's our movie. The last days on Mars. Some kind of mystery thriller about some kind of creepy thing that's
It sounds kind of like this found footage movie of this mission to the moon. Apollo 14, I think it was called.
I don't know, maybe I don't know, but it's not in. I doubt it. It doesn't look like from the screenshots I'm seeing. It doesn't look like it's a found footage type movie, but I get what you're talking about.
Yep.
And see,
Yep.
so,
Yep. I love found footage style horror movies. Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project, the VHS movies, love those.
okay, so now we got to roll for our segment. Okay, so let me roll for that.
Hit me.
All right. Okay. So it looks like we're going to do, and I'm changing the name on this segment. We had it, for some reason, we were calling it the Pitch Blackout, and that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm going to call it the pitch something, pitch roulette or something. I don't know. But basically, we're going to come up with some random prompts. And you and I are both going to have about 60 seconds, and we've got to come up with either a premise. We got to pitch a terrible or amazing movie or TV show or video game or something. Kind of like
what I did with that karaoke thing, remember?
Yes, that was the segment. Yes, that's what we did with that segment. So we're kind of rotating around again. So we've used all of them already. So now we're kind of going to start doubling up.
Good.
So yeah, that was a great one. Literally a what Pixar style karaoke spy, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah, karaoke
Yeah.
spy.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So, but anyway, so that's what we're doing. So we're going to watch this movie about these folks on Mars, and we're going to come up with some really cool movie and video game ideas next time. So that's what we're going to do. And I think we're going to get out of here. I don't have anything else to talk about, right? Do you? I'm kind of good. So, okay. Well, thanks, Declan, and thanks, Mitch, for hanging out and chatting with us. And for those who didn't make it to the live stream, download the podcast and listen to us. I'll have it out in a couple of days, and we appreciate it. And let folks know that we do this because it's fun to talk to folks when we're doing it. So y'all,
Exactly.
So y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all in a couple of weeks. We'll do this kind of stuff. We'll chat some more about some nerdy things. And I think after the next episode, this next episode is DragonCon. So we probably, and I think that might hit our Friday. So we probably will have to go a week late on our next podcast episode, but we'll have plenty to talk about.
Don't try and shoot for double digits. Do not try and shoot for double digits. I'm pretty sure they're going to ban you if you go too far.
No, it'll be fine. Because I'm the one that's letting it go. So
I'm
anyway.
not saying you will. I'm just saying the Twitch overlords might flag him.
If I'm approving his post, then it's fine. So anyway, all right. Listen, we're getting out of here. thanks for the folks that stopped by. We love you guys. We'll talk to y'all in a couple of weeks. And always remember,
Stay nerdy, my friends.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.